How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Loud and Proud Orlando. Thank you so much for being live with us on Thursday night, 8:37 p.m. Thank you so much for being live with us. I'm here with Paola, with John. We come from, I will say, I mean, honestly, a frustrating draw because of the way Orlando was playing. I think Orlando deserved to win that game. They had the chances. I feel after watching the game twice, I actually watched it twice. Orlando was too passive after they got the lead. They should have put the game away. There was a really bad call by the ref. That should have been a goal for Orlando City. That's in my opinion. And Oscar didn't want to say it because then he'll get fined, right? He'll get fined, right? But he definitely wanted to say it. And I repeat one more time: those refs, pro should not get near anything close to World Cup refereeing. I don't want to see no pro guys ever, doing a World Cup game. It will be disastrous. And we definitely found our striker, I believe, Duncan McGuire. He is the real deal. He demonstrated that he is ready to fill the shoes of True Nine. And we'll give you insights of why I think he's having more success than Kara. Kara almost had a fantastic assist, right? And then that goal got taken away. But we'll dive into all of that, and then what's expected to happen tomorrow. Well, in the next few days against Seattle Sounders, right? A tough opponent with a lot of good players at a really tough stadium to play at against one of the toughest crowds in the MLS. We'll see how the Lions do. But with me is John and Paola. Paola, how are you?
I'm doing good. I could be doing better after that game last night, but I mean, we didn't lost. We gained a point. We move forward, but like I said, I could be doing better. But I'm here with you guys, so I'm here.
Well, what's up, John? How you doing?
Good, buddy. Yeah, I was really ecstatic yesterday until about the 10 minutes of the end of the game, and then just kind of like a deflated balloon. It was like such a excitement of like we gotta beat Philly at home, and then no, we're just gonna tie to Philly at home.
Yeah, that was look, honestly, I don't mind the point, to be honest with you, against that opponent, but it's just the way Orlando was playing.
It's still a
It
great
is
point
it's still a great
for
point,
sure.
but I mean, yeah, it's still a great point, and I'll be also very content if we tie against Seattle Sounders too, right? And we get out of these two games against like tough competition, probably contenders for the MLS championship. I'll be content with 2 points out of this couple games. But it left me a really sour taste in my mouth. I mean, no one's gonna take that goal away from El Burro Martinez, or which is the donkey Martinez in Spanish. That's why he likes to call himself El Burro. They say because he has a donkey face. Apparently, that's the Venezuela thing. That's not me. Apparently, he has a donkey face, and that's why they call him El Burro.
I thought that it was el brujo.
El
Oh, it's
bu-
el burro.
¿Es el
Oh, okay.
burro? I thought it was el burro. ¿Es el brujo?
I saw in MLS Spanish said
Oh,
brujo.
okay. Then I messed up.
But
Then my
no. But
apologies.
Luis, you have a good point. It
I
looks
just
like
call
a burro though.
I just
Don't
called him.
don't ask me. I've got no
I
idea.
plead the fifth. I just called him a Duncan. I
He
apologize.
looks like a donkey, but
But
whatever.
anyways, I'll take it
I
back.
speak fluent Spanglish. And that's it.
It was a phenomenal goal. I think it should be MLS goal of the week. And honestly, Philly deserved the point at the end. After watching the game, I think Orlando was too passive. I think they weren't aggressive enough after they got the lead, and they had two or three or four chances to put it away. Like and again, we didn't. Now, I think Orlando has themselves to blame, in my opinion. I don't know. What are your first takes on this Paul, on this game? I know we saw Urgent Carroll on that run right there. right? What are your thoughts? What are your highs and lows of this game?
I mean, let's talk about the first 12 minutes before Duncan's great goal, before that first goal, right? We had, and I talked about a lot of about this in previous episodes, free kicks and corner kicks. We need to capitalize in both of them. Those are free goals. Mar- um, Felipe Martins got, I think, the first free kick. I don't know what happened. I don't know if you had the opportunity, John, to see that free kick from Felipe. I don't know where he was pointing at or the play was going. I mean, Pereira was super frustrated. He was like, "Really, dude, you wanted the ball just for that?" Like, I was super frustrated. Um, we need to start capitalizing like in those type of plays, but then Duncan made me forget about those type of free kicks and corner kicks, right? Phenomenal recovery and pass by Ojeda, because it was an assist by Ojeda. Recouped the ball, Duncan, and phenomenal goal by Duncan Maguire. And nice celeb with Santos. He talked about that, and Duncan is fine. He's not injured. He talked about that in the press after the game. Um, we were a headache in the first 55 minutes to Philly. Philly was like pissed. We were mentally challenging for Philly. Like, and that normally that doesn't happen. Us is backwards. Like, Philly is messing up with our mentality. And I was like, ooh, this is a different Orlando. Like, I was super optimistic. We're gonna win. I think I jinxed it, to be honest. And then that second goal from Ojeda, and I'm like, oh my God, this is finally happening. I think it's the Orlando weather, this rain, this is the blessing rain or whatever. And then that first goal from Philly, and that was on Mason. Mason, you did a phenomenal job yesterday protecting that net, but that wasn't you, Papa. I was like, oh, what you did. Um, but yeah, that first goal was amazing. I don't know if he thought that or Antonio Carlos was gonna stop that ball or kick it out. I don't know what happened there. And after Smith got subbed out, and I saw that Schlegel was going in for him, I was like, uh oh, we're going three on the back. We're parking that bus. This is not going to work. I don't have a good feeling for this game. And I was the rest of the game like this. So I think, and you said it, Luis, like it was in the game was in our hands. Ramiro Enrique had a good couple of chances that he could capitalize. I feel so bad for Cara that
Yeah,
took away. And for me, Martinez sold that foul. I don't know, because Cara is a big guy. He's smaller, so I don't know if he got elbowed. And the VAR is not for that. Like, after how many yards? 40, 60 yards after that foul, he got backed. So I mean, Orlando did this by themselves. It could have got worse. We got lucky because Philly was gonna score it again in the extra time. So I take the point. Whatever, we move forward. But those are the takes to from my game on yesterday game. So
I have a feeling that some of after watching the game, and then I'll pass the mic to John. That it was just a lack of pressing, defensive pressing, that allowed those two goals. I feel like in the first one was Mauricio Pereira. In a way, the Union was just putting like a lot of crosses through, and we Orlando allowed for those crosses to happen. And I think the boys need to be in sync and not allow that to happen, because the Union has the players to do those type of goals and do those type of plays. um Dagger Dan also, and Ivan Angulo. I think when Dagger Dan came in, then it was also, I mean, I would assume that he was going to go and just be that, you know um Jeep four-wheeler, run through you type of player. And it seemed that he turned over the ball a little bit. There wasn't a lot of defensive pressing. And Ivan Angulo, he was going all out attack. He wasn't really looking back or retreating and helping out his teammate to maybe defend a little bit. So I think putting any pressure on Philly really bit us in the butt, to be honest with you. I don't know, what are your thoughts regarding that, John? That's some of the things I realized after I watched the game for a second time. But we had it. We had it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys nailed it. That's 100% the way I saw it too. I was actually really late to this game, so I didn't get to see the Duncan McGuire goal. So I was like walking up to the stadium, and I heard like this big roar sound. I was like, "No, I missed something," and I was like, "What happened?" So I saw it on the replay, and I was like, "Damn, that's a good goal by the guy that I've been preaching about all week on Twitter and just how awesome he is." I want to give a shout out to Cleon, who is our stat guy. I kind of cheated on you guys a little bit last night. I went on Den After Dark to talk with those guys on their pod they have. And Cleon was pulling up some stats about Duncan McGuire and just how awesome he is. So he tweeted the other day about the fact that he leads MLS in goals and assists per 90 and officially leads in shots on target percentage and goals per shot. So the guy is just breaking records. He's got like one of the best XGs, I think the best XG in the league. And he wasn't really registering on a lot of these per 90s because he wasn't getting enough minutes. But now he's like reached enough minutes where you can compare his stats to some of the other guys in the league. And he's head of Dennis Boanga. So like for me, that says everything you need to know about Duncan McGuire and how good he is at producing for us right now. So that was a real highlight. I mean, even when he doesn't mean to score goals, he scores goals. Like I felt bad for Ojeda because when that ball comes across and it touches Duncan, even Duncan's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to take it." But it wasn't Ojeda's goal; it was Duncan's goal. So again, great play from him. I think in terms of what we did, I agree. I think the three at the back that Oscar goes to, it's not so much that we go defensive that early. Like I get you're 2-0 up, and that's Oscar's then wants to, shut down the game, park the bus. But for me, the three center backs just doesn't work. Like it misaligns Antonio Carlos and Janssen, like it offsets them from who they're marking, and Schlegel.
Exactly.
Having another center back doesn't actually help, in my opinion. Like so, and if you look at the goals, like you were saying, Luis, the goals are coming from midfield, but there's not enough people pressing. So he took like
Exactly.
Felipe out, who was actually having a much better game, I got to say, than than against the Revs. So
I think he heard you, John.
I think he might have.
You
heard
feel
some
sorry
criticism.
about it.
I don't think it's my criticism. I think Oscar was probably critical of him after that. But and we took Kyle Smith out. That was the one that I really didn't understand. Like Kyle was having such a good game. He didn't play the game before, so he's fresh. So I was like, why are you taking Kyle Smith out and putting Angulo at right wing back? I just didn't understand that at all.
Go ahead, Lisa. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Paula. Go ahead.
So when I saw Schlegel coming out of the bench, I was like, oh, so probably is Jansen coming out so we can rest him. And for Saturday, when I saw Smith coming out, I'm like, what are you doing? Because he's having a phenomenal game. He's rested. He didn't play last weekend. So what are you doing? I was like, what are you doing, dude? We're gonna park the bus. I don't like this. So
how important?
When I saw Schlegel, I was like, oh, let's hope it's like I was hoping Janssen was coming off. I was like, let's go center back for center back,
right?
Because I don't want to do three center backs. And look exactly what happened. I think
because
I understand you want to shut the game down. I get that, but the three center backs just doesn't work. So it just throws everything off. And then we don't actually we go too far back where we're not got guys high enough up the field to win the ball back further forward, and we invite them into the game. And I think that's what you were talking about, Luis, and that's why they got 2 goals back, because we allowed them to do that.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, like I feel like if I mean Kyle, how important Kyle's been for Orlando City this season. Like I think more than any other season. I think without Kyle Smith, Orlando can seems like we cannot win a game. So when you take him out, what happens is the whole lineup changes, and it opens up spaces because some of the players are already kind of tired. Mauricio, for example, and so they're not really with
He did
that
look
same
very tired.
intensity. Yeah, you start, when you should have maybe seen, you need another big dog that help Araujo, or maybe because that's what Kyle would do, on that flank. Kyle will help out, marking anybody that's coming through that flank, and he would, make the center back's job a little bit easier because they can focus on doing their job. So even though Kyle may not be the best, speedster, he is a very good tactical player that can definitely help it to defend. And I think when we took that out, the whole pie just flopped. And it made our mids now, oh shit, like it's minute 70. I gotta really like run now. Oh, come on, man. It's not like maybe that was the what they were thinking, but it kind of, that's what I could feel, because it's like kind of like a bolt, right? When you're tightening up a bolt, like you kind of, it started becoming a little loose there. And then the Philly, you don't want to give those type of spaces to Philly. And then what was a couple of things that we're doing the whole game? Set pieces, shots from distance. They got a goal from shots from distance, and pissing off. Sorry for this word, but pissing off our mid, and then the referee plaguing them with yellow cards. What's the
Bro,
first thing
they
that happened?
so dirty in this game. I
Yeah,
was like, this is
Flock was
dirty Philly,
dirty.
man.
Martinez was super dirty. And Beso was despicable. And the ref, like, first
They
chance.
fouled Mason and
Yeah,
didn't
he's
get a
like,
yellow for that. It was
yeah, I
completely
know. Mason got
unnecessary
a yellow for
challenge.
that. Rodrigo came in, first thing, first touch of the game, yellow card. Now that was on Rodrigo, I have to say. That was a stupid, collision. But again, that kind of already conditioned, and that kind of gave Philly, oh, okay, so if we level up the intensity, these guys are gonna start losing up they're gonna start losing it up, and then we're gonna take advantage. And then when you have a coach like Curtin, too, I mean, that's exactly. I mean, it worked perfectly for them. I think that, looking it back, I think Orlando lost that game in a way, gave it away, and Philly was able to capitalize on the chances they had. Like, look at, but just I just want to stay and just say this. Um, I had a family emergency. I couldn't make it to the game. I want to apologize to communications, but I couldn't make it. Um, but I was able to watch this game at my parents' house, and I was with my daughter and my wife, and I saw this right here. Look at that, man! That was incredible. That was incredible, incredible, incredible.
Like I said,
The way
Kara
I
would
mean, and
never score
Glassness is a
that
top
goal.
center back in the league. Glassness is a top center back in the league, and he just kind of like own his ass like completely, and such, like, I'm telling you, like, relaxed and poised, and just with such, you know danger, and he's so confident with himself. I love that attitude from him. You know what I mean? He he even did a Brazilian dance. Let's see, look at Paula smiling. Look at that. Look at that. He could dance bachata.
With
Right?
Rafa Santos, he's like, hey, bro,
Right,
look, I got the
look at
moves.
that,
Check
look
me
at
out. I can do it.
that.
Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, and then Cesar Araujo has been tremendous, and then Angulo, he was great. I will say, look at that,
They
look
gave
at that
that
goal
goal to
from
Ojeda.
Ojeda.
First, they gave it to
Yeah,
Duncan, and then they reverse it to Ojeda.
I
But
mean, I think the rule is if it's going on target,
Hmm.
and it would have gone in, then it still goes to the guy who first took the shot, right?
Something like that. But they asked both, and Duncan
You
was
see, that's
like,
how they were playing. You see how dirty they were playing.
"Yeah,
Look right here. Look. Like, was that necessary?
no,
That was that Flock? Yeah, that was
that's
Flock.
flock.
Yeah, was that necessary?
That's not
That's what I'm saying,
necessary."
right? So, and imagine, and he had like maybe five of those throughout the whole game. I will be tired too if I'm Mauricio Pereira. You know
I
what I
thought
mean?
that
So,
he was gonna get subbed at some point, and he didn't because of
yeah,
the game
that's
Like,
on
why
Saturday.
do we have two midfielders on the whole time, and one of them is
that's right.
Mauricio? Like, why?
That's I mean, and look, this is not to knock Mauricio out. I mean, he is a good player. He's the captain of the team, but you're playing against a top contender in the East, and you gotta put the game away. And we needed more newfounded pressure, like on this mid. Like, I feel like even if, let's say, you would have put Shaq Mohammed in there, he would have probably excelled because he was fresh, young player, full of energy. You
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
really, when we were two up, would be the perfect time to take off Pereira and bring on Juninho and go,
Correct. There you go.
go Felipe, Juninho, and Araujo and just lock it down in the D mid, or even bring Dagger on. Like we were saying, go to that 4-3-3, right? Like, why? I mean, at this point, at one point in this game, we were playing two strikers, and I was literally amazed. I was like, "Wait, hold on, we actually have two strikers on the field when we had three center backs on." And I don't really want to do that in that scenario. I'd rather have more midfielders control the game than have defenders and strikers, right? Like, we gave away the midfield by taking out our midfielders, in my opinion.
I know the reason why maybe Mauricio played that whole 90 is because of he puts balls like this. Look, so he has that vision to find that striker, right? But I mean, honestly, like, I feel like, yes, he does have that ability. He can maybe do that for 70 minutes, but bro, like, when it's time, when you're playing, like, if we were playing DC, or maybe, I mean, not to knock them down, in Colorado, you know what I mean? I'll probably understand, okay, a full 90 from Mauricio, that's great. But against, like, Philly, Seattle, especially Seattle, he's gonna face Joao Paulo. He ain't no scrub. We're looking about another Carlos Hill performance probably. So, um, that's when you need to know, hey, am I making that change? Am I gonna hunker down, or what am I gonna do? And I want to also give a lot of praise to Rafael Santos. I think he had a fantastic game today. Last night, and I mean, talk about, look at that. Like, he's gonna get a couple of those. I feel, with Duncan, hopefully. And then Kara was subbed in, right? And that one was an amazing save by Joe Bendick. Like, that one was gonna go in. You know, uh, Joe Bendick played a good game too. Mason, I think, played a good game.
What
Look at
about
look,
when Mauricio was running open clear in
Yeah,
the
I was gonna talk
midfield
about
and
that. I
the
was gonna in
entire
the counter
stadium?
attack.
Go
Yeah, he
ahead,
was like
Paula.
all free, and I was like, "Oh my god, Mauricio, shoot the ball! You're all free.
yeah,
You have the red
I
carpet
yelled,
all for you." And then, oh, let me pass it to Ojeda in the left. I'm like, "What are you doing?
can
Like,
do
what are
that.
you doing?"
It was like lined up perfectly for a right foot curler in the top bins, and he was just like,
I'm
"Nah,
telling you,
I'm
I
not.
saw
I
the
don't want
red
to do
carpet and
that."
everything in front of
You
Bendick.
you imagine what a second goal at that time would have meant for Orlando?
The entire stadium was like, "Shoot, man, shoot!" And he was
Yeah,
just like, "Nah, casual pass." Like, he only knows how to 10. That was my joke. I was like, he doesn't,
yeah,
he doesn't know how to hit the ball like that.
yeah. So I mean, a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities that were wasted. But again, a draw. I'm not. I mean, look, with the win, we look like in puppy we trust, right? We looked in puppy we trust. We looked puppy in, right? We were fifth. in
With
the
those
East.
two goals, yeah, with those two goals, I
Yeah, we
saw
were
the
fifth.
ending. I was like, "Ooh, that fifth place!" I'm like,
You
"Oh,
know, fifth. I was
beautiful."
about to do the. I was about to watch it whip and Nene. You know what I mean?
I thought that you were gonna do the Maguire and Santos
Right,
dance.
right, and yeah, right. But then with the tie, we remain seventh, still above playoff, but we still remain seventh now. It was a little bit of a Debbie Downer, I must say, because I
I
was
think
very excited
I think
to.
the real bummer was the fact that they called that goal back, which was, I mean, like I said, the ref, when it first happened, the challenge is like right there staring at Carr and Martinez. He doesn't call it in
Right.
live play. So why then do we feel the need to go back and look at something that he saw very clearly? Like if the ref misses something entirely, then that's one thing. But he saw it when it happened first time and didn't call it a foul. But then because the Philly players complained could we scored and Martinez is rolling around on the ground, he like feels the need to, I don't know whether it's the fourth official or what drove them to look at that again, but it's so far as well from the actual goal. It's like, did that really affect the goal? They had plenty of time to make a challenge on Kara during that run. So can you really say that elbow that kind of hit the guy in the face was so decisive in the run up to that goal? There was like a
No,
good
it
a
was
good
not
50
decisive.
yards where they could. Jack Glesnes, by the way, fouls Kara right
Yeah.
before he takes a shot. So
Look,
that's another foul. Like, well, does this not even out? Like, what's the deal here, ref? And I think for
because
that to happen, and then for that freaking worldy of a goal, like when he hit it, I was like, oh god,
yeah,
that's going in. And the combo of the two things happening so late in the game just was like a 1-2 gut punch of
yeah,
just like, hey,
he
you
did.
for
I
real?
mean, he did a messianic goal almost. You know what I mean? He skipped past three
Absolute
defenders.
golazo. I mean, he spanked it on
Yeah,
the half volley, and it's such a nice curler. And he's one of those when you hit it, like I said, you're just like, damn, that's so sweet. That's going in.
yeah. So, um, you know, post game interview with Oscar Pareja and Martin Ojeda and Duncan Maguire. Let's read listen to some of the comments of El Profe.
I wanted to start with your opening thoughts on tonight's game.
Well, first,
Well,
the effort of the players today after what we have to get through the week, it has been phenomenal. It was obvious that during the game we were losing energy, but the boys had the personality to overcome and trying to match a good team, and then even put the game the way we had it. The frustration that I have, and probably everybody with the decision is incredible. But I'd rather just control my words and get worried about just getting the things that we need to control better, and concentrate on those key moments that they're hurting us and on our ways on our games here at home is painful, but we're going. We're keep going. We have a quick turnaround against Seattle, and our boys needs to recover. The boys that are coming from a national team will join us too. And but for the players, nothing but my respect for that effort tonight.
Well, Austin and Michael.
and then we'll go for what Duncan said real quick here.
I gotta say, we look really good.
Did it hit off of you for the second goal?
Now that you just said that, I'm not going to take away that goal from Ojeda.
Fair enough.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, going back to your first goal then. Early start for you. What did you just kind of walk me through what you saw in that play?
Great ball from Ojeda. Took a poor touch, but then I saw the defender coming across really hard, so I thought if I could, slide, he would maybe fall over and I could get up, and worked out perfectly, I guess. So I'll take it.
What's the feeling right now? You had one, potentially two goals, but team only came away with 1 point tonight.
It's definitely, a little bit hard. At the end of the day, we have to we have to do what we can to get 3 points, and it's maybe tonight was not a night, and unbelievable goal from Philadelphia, and not much you can do about that. But I think we could, as a whole group, maybe do a little bit more to dig for 3 points at home.
There you go. I mean, level-headed guy, man. I mean, so cool, calm, and collective. I'm saying this. To me, I think we found our starter at the moment. I think we found our starter. I think against Seattle, we're gonna need him to be on point, and I think he has the confidence. And that's what I was saying before. He comes from excelling in college soccer and winning an
The Holland
award.
of the Heartland, man.
Yeah,
Never forget.
winning an award, and he comes an all-time high. Would you say, John? And I'll ask the same question to Paola. Would you say he's the steal of the draft?
I would say that we are extremely good at picking a
Yeah.
drafty striker. I don't know what it is. We've
Musi
done
we
it with
trust.
Laren. We've done it with DK. But we were looking at the numbers for them versus him, and he's way ahead of where they were. Like, I don't think anybody has hit the ground this hard, and come into the league and done this well as a rookie in the history of MLS potentially. I mean, as a striker, there might be other positions, but as a striker, he might be one of the best rookies. Like, he's on track perhaps to be the best rookie striker of all time in MLS, I would say. You'd have to look at the stats on that, but he's insane. And like I said, the numbers for him are so good. And I think you can't argue anymore of a case of Kara because, yeah, he had a good run in this game. And he looked a little bit more like he wanted to try and make an effort and really, fight for his position back, right? So, but Duncan's just not stopped scoring. So there's absolutely no way that you can drop him, in my opinion.
Yeah, and what about you, Paul? I mean, I feel like Duncan, he such a level-headed guy. I feel like he's so humble too. He doesn't believe it, so he goes game by game. He doesn't eat his own. You know what I mean? I don't want to say a bad word. He doesn't eat his own stuff. He doesn't believe. He goes game by game, and eventually things will come.
He eats goals, though, bro. That's what he
right.
eats.
He eats goals, but I'm telling you, like, what are your impressions from Duncan?
No, and you said it. I think we hit the lottery and nobody saw him coming like this. And he could be the rookie of the year, probably, like in MLS. And hopefully, and I think we're like the bad ones in MLS, and nobody, like, MLS doesn't mention us, but I think we're the kings of the draft. Let's be honest. We always have good draftees, and to be honest, I didn't saw Duncan coming as a good. I thought that it was gonna be Mohammed is the one. I think that the first pick that we did, I think that he was the one that he was gonna be with the first team, but it was Duncan was the one has been starting. He has been always optimistic and running around, and you can see his hunger in the court. So I'm super positive that probably next year Europe could be scouting him. I'm not even shocked about that. And we're going to be like cocky about it. Oh, that's from Orlando City. So I'm super happy.
Fantastic. Let's read some comments. Tolan Coca says, anyone else would star Doug or Dan over Thor over Felipe?
I think John has the answer for that. John, I need to come after you answer this question. I need to tell you something. But go answer this question.
I mean, 100% Dagedan. He's the man. Yeah, he's the boy. There was a moment in the game, and I almost completely lost it when Duncan McGuire broke up the field, and he was like making a run, and Dagger was also running up the field, and he was in the box, and Duncan almost passed the ball to Dagger, and I was like, imagine if there was a Duncan assist or a Dagger goal, I would have gone insane. I was standing next to Kay at the time, and she was like, "You really like Dagger, don't you?" I'm like, "I absolutely love me some Dagger Dan." I don't know what it is. I have this thing about like obscure players and
Mhm.
just players. I'm just like, we picked up this guy from Iceland who could play any position. That's like crazy and weird, but awesome at the same time. So I don't know. He hasn't been an incredible play for us. Like, but I think he's more of an attacking midfielder. And you saw at moments in this game when Oscar put him on, he was like, playing the Mauricio role more than he was the Arujo role. So I think we should be bringing off, Mauricio every game at like the 50, 60th minute and bringing on Dagger down to play the central attacking midfield role for the rest of the game. That's what I think. If he's not going to start, bring him on to replace Mauricio.
So I have an observation about Dagger Dan, and you will probably kill me, John, because you love that boy. So,
I mean, I
um,
don't think he's the best ever. I just irrationally
no,
love Dagger
you're
Dan. It
changing
doesn't make
stuff. Don't
it doesn't
change
make
your
sense. I just love
rationale.
him.
Don't change your rationale, John. No, so it was like 3 times. I don't know why he had the ball. He had Angulo in front of him and Ojeda in front of him, and he went backwards. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And even it was Fabian Bazan, he was like giving him like signals like, what are you doing? Just pass the ball in front. And then and I don't know, it's because he needs more time in the field to build his confidence. And I'm like, I'm not gonna be hard on Dagger because he has been not a lot of minutes with the team, right? And I'm like, I need to talk to John about his boy because he's going backwards instead of going up the field and passing the ball up, not going backwards. And we were we were tied at that point, and we were trying to, score that to go up. And I was like, come on, Dagger, this is your moment to shine. But I understand the point of not playing a lot, trying to build that confidence back in the pitch. And that was my observation, John. I don't know if you noticed, but he did it like
Yeah,
3 times. But then
I
he
did
fixed
notice that.
he fixed it though. He fixed a couple of moments when he went, instead of
Right.
going left, he went to the middle and fixed a couple of chances when he passed it to Ramiro, and then blah blah blah. But I was like, I need to tell this to John. It was
I
in my
I
chest.
also
So
noticed
there you go.
one moment where he was completely free and open up the field, like almost in the striker position, and Ojeda like broke free up the field, and Ojeda didn't pass it to him either. So I don't know. Maybe they don't, have that relationship with Dagger yet, right? Like
Because
I
he has
think
not been,
yeah, he hasn't played that much. And also, I think
mhm.
because, like, I think him being such a versatile player is actually a disadvantage for him because Oscar uses him wherever he wants. Like, he's an Angulo in that way where he's just like,
Right.
throw Dagger down up here or there. Or we've seen him on the wings, we've seen him in defensive midfield, we've seen him in attacking midfield. So I think sometimes he suffers from being a little bit of a filler player, And also, Oscar just like you said it like on Monday, Paula, like maybe Oscar just doesn't really, see him that
And then
way yet. But
yeah, and it made me doubt. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
maybe this is why Oscar doesn't give him a lot of
here's the
minutes.
thing: Dagger Dan has not done anything incredible for Orlando City yet. I fully admit that. I'm just excited
Mm.
by the prospect of Dagger Dan
Mm-hmm.
being awesome for us because he seems, what I do like about them? He works very hard. I don't ever see him not running, not like I always see him putting in 100%. I think you're totally right. Sometimes his decision making in those midfield, like
Right.
he was going backwards but maybe he's still learning MLS. Maybe I
Yeah,
think
yeah, absolutely.
there's so many questions around Dagger Dan. Like, where should he play? How good could he actually be? Right? I get excited by the prospect of him becoming a top player for us.
But if he doesn't get any minutes, how he will do big things for Orlando?
I mean,
So
100%. I'll cry.
Well, I mean,
I'll be really sad.
you have Leagues Cup, you have,
Yeah,
exactly.
he's
So
got to play
those
League Cup.
moments will come, but I needed to get that out of my chest and say that to you,
Hey,
John.
I fully know my love of Dagger Dad is slightly irrational, but it is what it is. The love of
Right.
Duncan, though, that is fully justified.
Oh no,
100%.
no, Duncan
There's
has
no,
won
you
our
know,
hearts 100%.
yeah. I
Like
mean, I was always about him from the start, but he's won everybody over. And by the way, we picked him 6th overall in the draft.
No, I mean, I feel Dagerdan has a long way to climb. I think he should get some more minutes. I think he's a very tactical player. He could be used in different positions. And for a game against Seattle Sounders, we're going to need the best version of every single player on the pitch, including Dagerdan, in my opinion.
But Felipe was better, so I'm fine with him coming back in. You know, he was doing the defensive work well this game, and he was also like running the midfield a little bit. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he was being quite vocal, and he was like directing the troops like he should do. He's a veteran, you know.
That's right. Duncan McGuire scored his 6th goal of the campaign. He's in sole possession of the scoring title for Orlando City right now. Martino Ojeda netted his 4th goal of the year and his 6th assist. Ivan Angulo recording his 2nd assist. And Cesar Araujo registered his 3rd assist of the year. And, Gaston Gonzalez, he came in. And then I think he got hurt again.
he did. He did.
Yeah. So that's bad. So hopefully,
Are we a little worried about this?
I'm worried.
I
situation?
am
Or
worried.
have we potentially signed someone who's a little bit injury prone?
Well, I mean, before that injury he had in Union, he had no injuries of that matter. But the injury he had in Union was a big one. I mean,
And we signed him the day before that, right, or something.
Yeah.
So it was like, how if this is now just he's going to be always injured, how unlucky are we? Like to sign someone. I mean, I hope that's not the case, but maybe they pushed him to come back too soon.
The good
Probably.
is in the other leg, per sources.
Oh, so it's not even the same. And so this is 3 different injuries in a row, essentially.
Yeah. The good thing
wow.
is he recovers fast. But I'm like you guys said, like I'm worried too. I'm like, what the heck? So I don't know.
Someone said he's made of glass, and I was like, that's harsh.
We
but
haven't seen
perhaps
the
accurate.
best. I mean, I've been blessed to see his best in Union when he played when he played the Argentinian league. He was one of the top scouted players in that league that year. He was a beast going down the flank, and I don't see the same player now. That's because of maybe the injuries that he had. The injury that he had was devastating. So it impacted him as a player. So he's trying to come out of that. Maybe we see him having recuperating, and maybe see him in the League's Cup as a starter, maybe doing a little better. I think those are the type of players that we need to give. I would like to see, and I'm saying it right now, Brandon Hackenberg, freaking Juninho, Thomas Williams. They need to play League's Cup, in my opinion. I mean, Orlando. Are we really gonna go for League's Cup? Are we gonna feel froggy to go for League's Cup?
I genuinely don't want to play our top players in league just
Right.
to get injured. Like
That-
I know it might sound bad, but I could not give a flying whatever
exactly
about the League's Cup.
I don't really honestly think it's
I
now
have a different perspective, but okay.
You want to win a
Mm.
trophy. You just love a
No,
trophy.
no. It's not me. I think Oscar wants the League's Cup, but
Really?
yeah, he
Oh,
lost
man.
U.S. Open Cup.
I think he should be worried about his MLS performance.
MLS
right?
run.
Like last year, he got
100%.
the Open Cup was like a get out of jail card for him
Free
because we
card,
were
yeah.
not doing well in the league.
Mhm.
This year, doing a little better, but not that much better. Let's be honest. Like we haven't soared up the table with a better squad. So I think
We
the
would have with the
club-
win here.
yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda. The club will be saying to him like MLS is the priority. I think.
Are we going to win MLS Cup this year?
God no.
No, we can make a run of the playoffs solidly.
I mean, I love this club, but that I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we need that. We're still missing, I think,
we've got to be like Philly, New England, Cincy
Yeah,
level
we're
to even talk about
missing
that.
automation. I don't know if you understand what
Exactly.
I mean.
So probably
We're
Oscar wants
missing
to win the
automation.
Leagues Cup. I don't know. So
I mean,
I don't
I'm
know.
sure he does. I mean, we want to win everything, but I don't want to
Right.
sacrifice
Me
players.
neither. Me
And
neither.
if you
I'm
look at the
100%.
schedule of the summer, is so busy that like if something's got to give for me, it's got to be the League Cup. And also, I want these OCB boys to get a chance. You know,
Tolan Coca, if we play a 2-striker system with Duncan and Kara, who would you take out? I will not play a 2-striker system.
that's what I said about this last game. I was amazed that we were playing 2 striker. I mean, we're
I
playing
will not
five.
play.
We're playing
Last
5
night,
defenders
right?
at the same time. Like
I would not play. I would not play a 2-striker system just because the wall wants to see 3 goals in the net.
we're never gonna see like a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-4 from Oscar. Like that for him is like suicide, I think.
And I wouldn't want to risk losing the game just because people want to see 5 goals in the net. I mean, you got to be.
I don't think we haven't built this team to be 2-striker team, right?
No.
Like because if you change the whole thing and then you've got like 2 strikers, if Enrique has he really been proven as a striker in MLS? Like you can play Duncan and Kara, sure. But if one of them gets injured, like you're going to bring in Enrique, like we don't have another guy. I guess you bring Jack Lynn in, but we've got so many midfielders and attacking midfielders that you would be sacrificing one of those to fit in a striker where we don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the whole thing about Orlando is because of our market and who we are as a team too, and what we have as players. We got to be level-headed and know where we are going. And for us, we're not Inter, we're not LAFC. We are on our own league. We got to think about ourselves.
And
we
also,
just need to win game by game, and we need to know how to use our players better. I mean, that's the whole thing. And having who are our subs at what time against what rival, and also our subs, our B and our A team need to know how to play together in automation, in sync. Like, not having Facu go like this, right? Or Ojeda go like this, right?
Holiday.
Like a holiday, like, you know what I mean? So those are the type of things that we need to definitely hone a little better. But I mean, I'm sure we'll get there. I mean, if we would have won this game, I know it's woulda, shoulda, coulda, but if we would have won this game, we would have been 5th in the East. Now, and when I first started the pod this year with you guys, I said, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I'm Gucci with that. I'm good with 3rd, 4th, and 5th because I know for a fact 1 and 2 will be too out there. Knowing my reality. Yes, I should aim and want the best, but it's also good to know your limitations at some point. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I think that's what a lot of people's argument is with Oscar overall, is that they see his ceiling at being like 4th or 5th, and which is
right.
which would
my
be
question
better
is,
for us than most seasons we've ever had. And I think we've ever finished that high in MLS, but still,
right. I mean,
gotta get there.
Some clubs have it worse. Say hello to Chicago Fire. You see what I'm saying? To Inter Miami, right? Spending so much money, right? They have it worse. And
yeah, but the Galaxy have 5 stars on their chest already, so I think you could have a bad time if you got 5 stars.
I mean, that's the time from the shootouts, right? I think the most relevant star is the last with Robbie Keane and Beckham.
Yeah, I mean, they've not had a good, more recent era, but they've got more winning history than anybody else in the league, right? So even Chicago, like they haven't been good for a while, but they've got history of being a very good team. DC,
Eric Winalda,
like you can name all of these guys. Like for us, it's like we've never even got to that height. We're a newer team, but like other teams have joined since us and done
we had Adrian
better.
Winter, man.
I mean, look at Atlanta and Cincy. They've done more than we ever have, which is, that's why I'm like, we need a win. We need to do very well in MLS at some point, and it hasn't happened yet.
Okay, so this is gonna sound, I don't know, maybe too out there, but we already have a great academy, right? I think we all can agree with that. The under 17s are going to the quarterfinals. I want to say hello to Zachary Campagnolo, everyone there. Under
They're going to
17
the semifinals.
semifinals now. So imagine that. So we already have that. We already have a process. We already have a coach right now. We have a coach, right? I think we can say, we're not ready to throw the towel yet, right? So what do we need? I think we need to open up the wallet now a little bit more, in a way, because we need to complement certain players. I'm not saying to get like Messi, Ronaldo,
Messi is taken.
Mendy.
Sorry.
I'm not saying to replicate what Saudi League is doing right now, getting Hakim Ziyech, getting Mendy. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying a star-studded 11 for Orlando City. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, complement your lines. Maybe get a good, solid guy that's going to be able to mentor the young core you have in certain key areas. We already have Antonio Carlos and Robin Jensen in defense. Maybe get a good left back. And then you maybe want to get a good number 8. If maybe Wilder may be going out, maybe he's not going to stay in the team. Maybe get a good number 8, a solid 8. And then you maybe get a striker. If Kara doesn't pan out, get like a proven striker. Complement your young core with Duncan Maguire. And maybe you can play a 2-striker system at that point. But Orlando is one of the teams that spend less in the MLS. And that is a great thing. Don't get me wrong, because by spending so little, they've been able to make it this far.
I mean, I think we've seen them spend more than ever on players. I think player salaries, we are one of the cheapest, right? But I don't really necessarily have a problem with that. I think there's one thing is the MLS going to open it up now that Messi's here? Like, are they going to loosen all these rules? Because there's no point in having Messi here to attract all these awesome players if nobody can sign any players, right? So everybody's hoping the league is going to do that. And if they do that, hopefully we can spend with the big boys because we're funded like the big boys, right?
And not only that,
billionaires. So there's no reason why for them this is a drop in the ocean compared to what they spend on the Vikings. So hopefully they spend the money.
Right, I agree with you. And what has the league in a way is waiting for, because the Saudi league, they saw, Messi signed with Inter Miami. Okay. That cannot happen. And they're like, that cannot happen. Okay. Sign everybody. So I started signing Mendy, Hakim Ziyech, whatever they want. Blank check. Sign them. Benzema, Golden Boot. Sign everything. N'Golo Kante, which I'm very surprised. And they won Mohamed Salah from Liverpool.
I mean, Salah, I don't know about that
right,
one.
But you know what I mean,
very,
right?
Very good.
No, but they're boosting. So they feel like they don't have what the MLS has, which is breeding young stars. So you've never heard of a young talent coming out of the Saudi league. They don't have a Weston McKennie. They don't have a Christian Pulisic for F's sakes, and so. The MLS has a huge chance. That's what I'm saying. If they loosen up, I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. I mean, there's no way, because they're already over there loosening it up on purpose in their terms, right? Thinking they're going to buy everything out, like Pinky and the Brain. They're going to dominate the world, right? The soccer world, right? And, they're going to dominate the soccer world. So I think it's about time. And I think Orlando doesn't need too much. I think we have a great core. We're built, not bought. Right, we have a fan base, we have a great coaching staff, we have great fans, we have a beautiful stadium, we are the soccer city of Florida, that's for sure, and I think the fans deserve that, good spending a little more to build their core up.
We've heard from several people, and I think most likely in this window, we're probably not going to go out and spend money or find anybody, right? We're developing youth, which I'm fine with that. Like I have no issue with that. But if it was me personally, and I want to know what you guys would do in this summer window. But if you were Luis Musi and you had the control, what changes would you do? I'll tell you what I would do, but I want to know what you guys would do first.
Uh,
Hmm.
you go,
Um,
Paula.
Paolo, yeah, tell us what would you? Like no, and obviously we're all fans, but like you can sell a player if you don't like a player. That's okay.
I will go for a left back. Let me call Jordi Alba. He's a free agent right
There you go.
now.
And this
No,
is where the lobby, the
left
Disney
back.
lobby, can help
he's a
out.
left back, so
Well, a DP left back is what I say. You'd have to be a DP.
nah, you can put some Tam there.
You throw
Uh,
time at Jordi Alba until he's happy.
That's how who's this little guy Pooch, whatever. He got into the
Ricky
league.
Pooch,
Ricky Pooch. He got like a Tam deal.
stealing from LA.
And then he's a young designated player now. This
Yeah,
year.
DPs are
We're
like
gonna
Araujo.
Uh-huh. So
we're
anyway,
gonna avenge the Shaq and the Dwight Howard move to the Lakers. We're gonna avenge it with Ricky Pooch.
I will say, I mean, a 10, a Cam. Pereira needs help in that position. Like a mix of Carles Hill, something like that, but younger.
Exactly.
We need
I agree.
a player that puts that ball into the net in those free kicks. I don't know, that type of player. Facu can do the left wing, and we have we have players, but those little pieces that are missing into the puzzle, I think it's the Cam and that left back, because Holiday Smith can do that right back. So that's my those are my two right there.
See, like a few months ago, I would be all over the left back shot. And we were saying we need a left back because Santos was just not looking up distraction. He's been doing a lot better recently, so I'm a bit more comfortable with our left back situation. So I agree with you. I think a 10, but I would go hard, and I would sell Kara, free up his DP slot, free up the international slot, and then I would go out and find myself a Carlos Gil type to run the whole system around, so we don't have to rely on Mauricio and Torres to do that. And I think that would complete us in a lot of ways. I think we're really missing that linchpin in the middle of Oscar's system.
I mean, look, Facu went away to Uruguay. Who's gonna replace him when he goes away? Mauricio, right? But who's gonna complement Mauricio?
But
So we need that player.
Facu's not even playing the 10, right? Like he was literally just playing it when
Exactly,
Mauricio was
exactly.
injured. That was it. It was Mauricio who came back from injury and he went back on the wing.
Exactly, yeah.
Yo, we need a Carlos Hill type player, that's for sure. But the good news is, I would say also a left back. Because a defensive player, somebody could play center back and left back or right back. Somebody that, like for example, Alexander Callens.
I'd also think we could go after like an Almada type. Oh, sorry,
Right.
Almada.
Right.
I can never remember which
Right,
one it is. Like I'd love a 10 that could be the playmaker, but can also score a goal.
And I believe Orlando should go for that. And honestly, I don't think they're gonna sign anyone relevant this season.
Let's promote Juninho up. Like let's actively promote 2 or 3 guys and not just call them up for one game. Like put them in the first team permanently.
Right. Prove them. Alex Freeman, I think he'd be a great sub.
I'm not against Jack Lynn getting another shot, man.
Juninho played very well. Like, even if you really want to feel froggy, maybe Jack Lynn play Leagues Cup too. You know what I mean? He's been killing it with OCB. But the good news is that the source that we had about Ivan Angulo was completely right. Orlando City officially extended Ivan Angulo's loan through the end of 2023 MLS season. Uh, they're going to sign him back. I'm sure that they're going to work on extending him
That's
further
the
than
thing.
that.
I was hoping it was going to be a permanent deal. I mean, it's great to keep him, obviously, but I'm worried the better he gets, that is it
They want
Palmeiras?
him. They want him back. Yeah,
Yeah, that they might
Palmeiras.
suddenly be like, actually, we want him. Like, I'm hoping that this is just
We
a
changed
loan
our mind.
extension, because next season we're gonna sign him in the off season for 2024, right? Hopefully.
Right. I have a feeling that that's what's going to be now, unless also you have to understand, there may be some players that they may be parting ways with. And I have a feeling Angulo won't be one of them. I have a feeling that maybe other players that are already playing in the team are going to be told that they're probably not going to continue after the season's over. But I don't think Angulo is going to be that player. I think he's been intricate in this season for Orlando City. I think he's been a key player. I'm happy that he's staying. I'm happy that he's staying through the end of the 2023 MLS season. Palmeiras has no space for him. Even if they want him, they're so how do you say it? They're so prideful. Oh, an MLS guy coming here and stealing my mojo Jojo. No way. You know what I mean? Like they're very like that over there. And I'm really happy about that, and I think that's the first step, right? Ivan Angulo staying, I think it's a great move. And on the other hand, we're going to be facing tough competition coming up, which is going to be Seattle Sounders, and I want you guys to see the goal that Polish international scored. I forgot his name. I think it was. Hold on, let me find out. I had his name up right now. Polish international. He's from one of the Mateusz Bogus. I know I'm probably butchering his name.
He came from, I think I want to
Yeah.
say Leeds
Yeah.
Academy or somewhere. He's been like around the Leeds youth system for a long time, and I always rated him as a potentially very good midfielder. So when they signed him, I was like, oh, that could be a great one, and he's started to show it.
It was a ball that he drived in, past know-how, past the defense, and just shot it from distance. And I'm telling you, if you're gonna play the Sounders, passing the ball around possession style, you're gonna lose. You gotta take advantage of your set pieces. You gotta take advantage of shots from distance. That's how LAFC was able to get the win in this game. I'm not quite sure if Raul Ruiz is going to be playing this game. For my understanding, his father passed away, so our condolences with Raul's Ruiz's dad. He his dad passed away, unfortunately, and so he played this game and then he flew to Peru. So I don't know if he'll be back by. I don't know if he'll be back by the game, but here's right here. Ruid's dad died June 20th. Despite that, the Peruvian was present in the Seattle Sounders LAFC game that was played yesterday on the 21st. And then he flew to reunite with his family to say goodbye to him, right? So our condolences with Raul Ruiz for sure. A phenomenal striker. If he's missed, though, we're going to get the Colombian guy. Man, what's his name? The
Montero?
historic Freddy Montero. We could get Freddy Montero, or we could get somebody that we've already faced, Heber, from former N1CFC striker.
NYSC.
Hebert.
Heber. Yeah.
I mean, that's how is La France. Hebert.
Oh,
Hebert.
Heber.
Like Thierry
Yeah.
Henry. Hebert.
Oh, Heber. Yeah, so we may get
See, I
Heber.
can pronounce some names correctly.
Yeah, for sure. But
so my my maid, not my maiden name, my marriage last name. Then, anyways, continue, Luis. Sorry.
Wait, what's
No,
your?
go
I
ahead,
don't
go ahead,
know
go
at
ahead.
all.
Villeneuve.
What?
Oh.
Say this again.
Villeneuve.
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 Is that French?
It is.
Villeneuve.
That's
There you go.
interesting.
You can say it
Beautiful.
correctly.
So, so what is the common denominator with Seattle Sounders in a lot of the games that they've lost or they've gotten a draw is you play the counter, which Orlando knows how to do well, you know, be solid in the back. They also have a very good left back and right back duo. I mean, you're talking about um, Tolo know-how, and also you have Baker. Nolo know-how plays for Cameroon, right, for the national team for Cameroon. He's a starter there, and so they're gonna have it's a good team. That's what I'm trying to say. So when you play a team like this, you catch them. We could have a similar game like Philly. I feel surprise them. But in this case, guys, we have to capitalize on the chances that we create. You can't just let it go like that. Go ahead, John. I think you wanted to talk.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that they're not that hot at the moment though. Like we're actually in better form than them, even though they're third in the West. I think to be honest, I don't think the West is as tough as the East. I think the East has got like some stronger teams. But anyway, talking about Seattle, they lost, to San Jose, then they drew to Portland, then they drew 3-3 against Charlotte. So they let Charlotte score 3 goals on them. And then they just lost again. So we're actually in better form than them at the moment. And especially away form, we're top of East and West on away form, right? Like we're actually second behind Real Salt Lake, but we're very, very good on the road. And so I think, like you said, this is set up for another great counter-attacking game from us. Like that's why we need Duncan in there, because he's the integral part of that counterattack.
I agree.
The only thing that sucks is that they play on turf. So if we get a wet rain situation like New England, where the ball just won't move very quickly, then that kind of hinders our speed on the counterattack.
Our luck, right? Our luck.
I mean, like why? Like it's again, this is why teams shouldn't be allowed to play on turf, in my opinion.
There should be, and I'll be honest with you, those little things may change because a player just got to the league.
Yeah, like I said last week,
if I'm
Messi
20
ain't going to Lumen Field to play on the turf.
If I am Professor Garber, I'll be taking notes right now, making a checklist. Turf, no more.
El Profe Garber.
El Profe Garber. Take it
But
out.
they have to. Well, I don't know about the Sounders.
No, he needs to be a law. He needs to be enforced.
No, but if FIFA 2026, if they're going to play in they cannot play in turf.
No,
like Atlanta,
it's
they
gonna
need to change it to grass, right?
Oh, 100%. No way the World Cup would allow that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So why the league cannot change it to grass? Like, it's ridiculous.
Because MLS.
We're different, guys.
Like, why do we have TAM and GAM and all this other stuff that no one else has?
Why do we have to play during international break?
Yes, it's because the league, they try and take some of the other elements from other American sports and they put that into the league. But really, all they need to do is just go copy the way the Premier League does it. Go copy the way La Liga does it. There's a formula of how to run a soccer league. You don't have to figure I understand when the league first started, they were very worried about it folding, right? Because of the history of what happened with other leagues in the past in America not being able to be substantial. So they put a lot of rules in place, like the profit sharing and everything, the way they do the whole franchise system. You're not team owned, you're league owned. So everything's league owned, right? And then there's all these complicated rules that come with that. But then there's other stuff that they could just simply solve, like forcing teams to not be able to play. Like, why is New York allowed to still play on a baseball field? That to me is egregious. But
and then
anyway,
Orlando
that
needed
just gets
to
me really upset.
Build their own stadium in order to be in MLS.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. They just changed the rule. Like, why is Seattle been in the league? How long have Seattle been in the league? And they're just quite happy to let them continually play on turf.
Stadium.
It's like, hey, you're a massive team in the league. You've won it. You've won, the Champions League. How about you build yourself a stadium, huh? How about I know you're owned also by the Seahawks. I get that. And like that's what it all comes down to. Like NYCFC are owned by the Yankees. So when they signed up, the people who are in the Yankees were like, yeah, we're not going to move out of our own stadium, you know? So they just, yeah. Anyway,
At their convenience, but anyway.
yeah, right. I just think if the league wants to be taken more seriously, they should do something like on a global scale. They should fix these obvious and silly things.
Well, let's see if Luis is right because La Pulga is coming and they're gonna change all of this little turf. And if if they're
have
gonna
to.
change it, I'm gonna be pissed.
I
Well,
mean,
Messi's just not going to
I
go.
mean, Messi,
Like that's
Messi,
it. He's just
Messi,
not going
Messi's
to go.
yeah, I mean, you have to understand, Messi is the Pelé of this generation.
I know,
So
yeah.
if so, I'm sorry. The rules. I mean, you're talking about MLS had stupid rules. I'll be honest. I don't want to talk bad about it. The shootout, and that makes the country look like crap. I'm sorry. The whole shootout in '94.
Oh, the
Who wants to
penalties.
do a shootout? You know, it was a shootout. It was like you run and then you're like
And
go
then
1v1 against the keeper, right? Soccer is so simple. You don't have to make it different. But because we're
It's the
stuck of making,
Americanization of an international sport. That's exactly what it is.
we cannot Americanize an international sport.
I mean, you
Just like-
can, and they have.
Yeah, and like for example, it was all great with Formula One. Why we need NASCAR?
Well, I mean, look at F1, right? Like they're obviously when we get the tracks here, right? It wasn't like, hey, let's do the American version of F1 races. It was just like, no, we're just gonna do an F1 race because it's managed by a global organization,
Well,
right? That's
I'm
the
just
difference.
saying. I'm just saying not to mock or nothing, but I'm just saying it's like it's so simple. I mean, those little things, those little changes are gonna make the
Yeah.
league look so much better
Along with
around the world.
improving the pro refs. That's like, hey, why don't we just recruit some refs
Exactly.
from Europe to train our refs here to get them up to a
Exactly.
better standard?
I agree. I agree. I mean, and those are the things that I believe this World Cup. And I mean, I know that U.S. soccer has huge ambitions when it comes to 2026. I know for a fact 2026 they want to be top 4 in the world, U.S. men's national team. So if that's the ambition, you cannot host a World Cup that is subpar to Qatar. You have to one up Qatar in all levels. And in my opinion, is you cannot allow your league that is breeding the McKennies, the Pulisic, the future, right? The Campagnolos, the Jack Lynns of the world, right? You're not gonna put turf or send them to like a high school pitch. You just can't do that.
I mean, that's the
It's-
advantage for Duncan, right? Like the guy probably played on a lot of turf in the Midwest, so I'm sure he's used to that.
yeah. So, well,
Should we do
I
the
don't know.
lineup? I mean, what do you
Yeah.
guys think? I'm
Do you think
fairly
it's gonna
sure.
be the same?
Yeah,
It's
that
gonna
was
be the
literally-
same.
I was gonna say it's
It's a
gonna
copy
be
and paste of
Yeah,
yesterday.
I think it's gonna be a copy and paste from yesterday. Now, obviously, I don't know if Facu is back yet.
I was
not for
gonna say that.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the
go
thing.
ahead.
I think it could not be a copy and paste if Wilder is ready and if Kalesa is ready and if Faku's ready. I think Faku more likely than the other two, right?
Facu,
It's-
he arrived yesterday, but I don't know if
Yeah.
he's gonna play.
I mean, I think he should. He would play one
No,
game on
if he
international
arrived
duty.
yesterday, he's gonna play.
I think Pedro will play as
Which,
well.
by the
because
way,
we've
he
seen him come
scored.
back for that, and we've been talking about him going to. So if
No,
Pedro
I mean,
plays,
that was
will
a
Wilder
waste
play?
of time. That was a waste of time for
Bro,
Pedro
I got
Valencia.
up that morning and I looked at the score and I was like, "Oh, Luis got up at 4 a.m. to watch."
Bro, I got up.
lose to
I got-
Japan.
I look like a damn fool with my pants on the ground.
Oh man,
A fool with my pants on the ground.
I'm sorry.
Let me
bro.
tell you something. That Japan taught us a lesson, definitely. And the coach of Peru knows there are some players that are out of shape, and he should not make his in shape players carry all the weight for the out of shape players. And that's exactly what happened. Pedro's not going to save you for every freaking shot Japan did.
No.
I mean, he's
no.
not a magician, bro.
Did Wilder
But
play both games?
yeah, Wilder played both games. He should.
90 minutes for both games, like the whole
No,
game?
no, 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 no. He
Okay.
was subbed. He was subbed out in I think minute 70 on the second one. So, but what I'm saying is, Wilder, they put him as a 6. He's an 8, and he's a really good 8. But they put him as a 6. He put him, his sole job was to be Cesar Araujo, and we all know here that he's not Cesar Araujo. So he was turning over the ball constantly, especially against Japan. Yeah, so it was a bad look. It was a bad look, to be honest with you.
Well, hopefully he recovers from that, right?
Yeah,
Because
in
he only
the
just
first
got
goal for
back in
Japan,
the
it was
national
it
team.
was it was also Pedro. He was, I think, he was out of, I think they caught him in the
The right in the wrong
in the
place.
wrong position. Yeah, he was but it happens.
But on the other side, Facu got his first
His first
Uruguay
goal.
goal penalty,
Yeah,
against
penalty.
Cuba Libre.
and Araujo's brother got man of the match and scored a goal and tore
Yeah,
it up.
he's
Yeah,
on
no, right?
fire. He's on
I know,
fire.
Maxi Araujo. Maybe we should bring him over. Have a little family
You know, I
reunion.
was
my
thinking
God.
about that,
The
Luis.
duo
but I'm
Araujo
like,
brothers, I go nuts.
Right. Mario and Luigi.
But
Does he play the 10?
No, he's a
No.
winger.
Yeah, he's a winger.
He's a
right?
I'm just
winger.
looking for 10s now. I'm
Maybe-
shopping anywhere for a 10.
Maybe a spot
He's like you're
liberated
like
for
with
a
your
winger.
wallet. You're like with your wallet. You're like where to shop for a 10.
Yeah, we need to
Mark.
send out a request, like apply to be the Orlando City 10.
You're like going to Facebook Market. Where to shop on a number 10? Who score free kicks?
Mark
Pass the ball.
Rodriguez.
the
says,
answer is South America. It's always South America. Go find us a Brazilian young number 10.
You're going to
Mark-
freemarket.com.
Mark
Free
Rodriguez
market.
says, hello to everyone. No, thank you, my friend. Thank you to
Hi,
Mark.
Mark.
Appreciate it. But anyways, we have an important game coming up. Obviously, we hope for an Orlando win. I say Orlando does the miracle, and Orlando wins 2-0. 2-0. Yes, 2-0. We get Antonio Carlos header,
Almost.
and we get
last
a
game.
Mauricio Pereira from the penalty spot.
Luis, did you say 2-2 for the Philly Orlando game? Was that you? Somebody said 2-2, and I don't remember who it was.
I
and
think it was in the
they
Facebook
nailed
page.
It was right. It was
No,
somebody
it
on
was-
the. I looked back at the
yeah,
Facebook
no,
because I wanted to congratulate
said-
them, but
I
You
I
said
said it?
3-1. I said 3-1
Oh.
Orlando.
You said 3-1. I said 2-1.
I said 1-0.
Oh man, that
But
was
somebody
close.
in the
We were
Facebook
way
page,
off.
if you are there in the Facebook page,
Yeah,
come
you are.
hold your
you
hand
are
up because
a
you said
genius.
2-2 and you nailed it.
Hold
so.
your hand up. We have a sticker for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you an imaginary gift of congratulations. There's no actual prize. I'm just like, good job.
Remember the participation string that they give you in school?
Yeah,
There you go.
get a little participation medal. Good job.
Oh Lord.
No, I'm going with 2-1 again. I love a 2-1. I think 2-1.
What was-
Duncan scores again because he's Duncan.
He's on fire.
And I'm gonna say that we get a Ojeda goal again. I think he's gonna open it up now. I think that was it. I think the floodgates are gonna start opening up for him.
There you go.
This team has not been consistent, but in a good way. Like, it's been like, okay, who's gonna score this game? Duncan for sure. Because you had a good point, John. He has been, playing in turf. He knows the in and out.
He's great for the counter attack as well. Like that suits him so much.
Question, Luis. In Argentina, they don't have turf, right?
No, it's all
grass,
I know
right?
In Peru, unfortunately, they're cheap and they do have.
They have turf.
In some provinces, in some regions outside of Lima,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
they have the disgust. I call it disgusting turf because pretty much they gotta play with tennis shoes.
Ojeda's gonna have trouble playing
Like it's
on Saturday.
horrible.
Ojeda's gonna have trouble then on Saturday playing, but hopefully he's gonna have a scoring goal from outside of the box, like yesterday. So let's
I
say
think
3-1.
a lot of the South Americans struggle on the turf, right? Like we saw Angulo didn't have the best game when it was
Mhm.
like a New England. It was a lot of those guys.
It
I think
was
I
it
think
was
were maybe their first
choppy.
time, right? They might have never done it before, so maybe they learned from that, and hopefully can apply that to
But I
Seattle.
thought they had a field and their training facilities here with turf to due to that purpose, so they can practice in that turf before going into. I
Do
don't
they?
know.
Maybe
I
you
don't
know more
know.
than me. I mean, that's very
I
forward
don't
thinking
know.
if we have that.
Maybe I'm butchering it. I don't
No,
know.
I don't. It could be very real possibility. Yeah, that we
Whoever knows an
do. We
inside
have a
scoop,
practice turf field to practice for this ridiculous turf nonsense.
please leave in the comments the inside scoop
We could
answer.
find that one out.
Please.
That could be interesting. But
That could be interesting.
so,
I
what are you
thought that we
saying?
had one.
You're saying what do you say?
3
3-1.
1.
Okay, so Luis, you went what? I
2
should write
0
this down.
Orlando. Let's
Oh, I
2
don't
go.
need to
0.
write it down.
2
It's on the
0.
pod with recording, so we don't need to write
2
it
0
down.
Orlando. Let's
2
go.
0.
Hopefully everything goes well with that, because I'm like, I want to win.
I want to win too. We need those 3 points, even though that we're not that bad until we play New England. But yeah,
4 points from those 3 games is great.
It'll be it'll
Is
be it'll be a
awesome.
great result. I mean, you're talking about two contenders for the MLS championship. I mean, if you want to win this league, you have to know how to beat those teams. Philly, we were so close, but then yet so far away. And
I
then when it
jinxed it.
came,
I
Well,
jinxed
and
in
it.
then we
Seattle are wobbling, man. Like they're not like really strong Seattle. When we're not playing them in their prime right now. Like they're having a
that's
little
right.
rough patch, so we can
Mhm.
capitalize.
But I want to again say that also the beautiful game, the friendly game between Ronaldo and Ronaldinho, is tomorrow. So make sure you be there to support. It's a great event for the city. If you want to meet those two great stars, the doppelganger of Ivan Angulo will be there. Vinicius Jr. will be there tomorrow. The taller Ivan Angulo, I'll say, because a little taller,
But
but
Vinicius is not playing, right? There's no way they'd let him play. Is he just going to
yeah,
the game?
he's gonna play.
They're gonna let. If I was
Yeah,
Real Madrid, there's no way in the offseason I am
he's
letting Vinicius
Vinny, and then
shoot.
after that, he's gonna go
But
to
bro,
Cocoa
what if he
Beach
gets
Pier.
injured?
He's gonna go to the Cocoa Beach Pier.
I would be pissed if
He's
I was Real
gonna be the
Madrid.
water boy.
I mean, I was gonna say like this is gonna be very slow, like no tackles. Like if somebody
Nani will
injures
play.
Nani
Vinny
will play.
Jr.
I guarantee you, Nani's gonna score a penalty out of penalty,
Well, not. I mean, yeah.
and then
I
he's
don't
gonna
know
do
what
his
this
little
is gonna
flip.
be like. I have no idea what these. How
Would you
how
take him
intense
back?
is it actually gonna be, right? Like, because they got guys out there that are like Ronaldinho can't run. Like
Yeah,
the
no,
man
no.
can barely walk around.
I will
Would you
take Nani.
would you
Just
take him back, Nani? The John?
is that in an
Yeah, he would.
I look. I'm so young player
I would
biased.
too. I would too. I'll be honest.
If we're spending any real money on any players, they gotta be a youth
Listen,
star that we can sell for big bucks.
I
I
don't
tell you,
remember.
the Last
Yet
Dance. That's how we need to pitch it.
and last dance.
The Last Dance.
Yesterday somebody did something. I don't remember who. I think Pereira or Felipe. That instead he went, I don't know, that Nani would like dance and then shoot and scored. And I'm like, this is why I miss Nani for that. Only for that.
For the dancing.
For that, like,
Well, you got
how
Duncan.
Nani.
Duncan can do the
No,
Brasileira.
but
Come on, like,
Duncan
he's
didn't
on it.
have the ball at that time. It was Felipe or Pereira. I don't remember that. That Nani used to go forward then back, and then that little dance that he used to do, and then shoot and actually scored.
Oh, I thought you meant actual dancing. You're talking about like his cutting
No,
left and
no, no, no,
right.
no.
Got like he's
I call it dance, but no, it's not
yeah,
dance.
he's
It
doing
was with the actually ball.
he's
Like you
dribbling. Yeah.
like a fake with the ball and then shoot. So I think Pereira did it, but he didn't do anything. So Nani used to shoot it and actually shoot the ball and scored, but they don't do it. They don't shoot the ball. So I was like, I told Alec, I'm like, this is why I miss Nani for only this. That's it.
Well, this
So
is
that's
why
why I will take him back, Luis, just for those moments.
we need a Brazilian number 10 to come on
Brazilian
and dance for you, Paula.
Just for that.
Uh,
Well, I want to thank everyone that's been here today. Thank you so much for your support. We'll see you guys back on Monday at 8:30. If you're listening to this pod, thank you so much for your support. I did not post on Twitter the links for the pods for the last pod on Monday because of time constraints, but we will be posting them. It's already on Spotify on all audio forms. I'm just saying I usually repost the tweet with the pictures of us and all that stuff. I'm gonna do one for both episodes, so stick around with that. Check us out on all social media outlets. We are on YouTube as Loud and Proud Orlando, as well as on Facebook and Twitter, and also on I forgot at Spotify and Apple Podcasts. There you go. So, any last words you want to say, Paola?
No,
Before we
vamos
go?
Orlando. Let's get a win on Saturday. Let's go.
All right, what about you, John? Vamos Orlando.
Vamos Orlando for sure, and Luis is back in the Facebook group, so you
Yeah.
know, excitement for that too.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
part
gonna
of the
add everyone on
conversation again.
Facebook. I'm gonna add everyone on Facebook now. So
I'm gonna
All right, guys.
I'm gonna turn on post for approval for you though, because we're not sure where you're gonna, you know.
make sure I answer the question to it in
Yeah,
the
make sure
in
you
the
know
group.
who
That's right.
that Oscar is Papi.
That's right. All right, guys.
Vamos
Thank you.
Orlando.
Vamos Orlando. Take care, guys.
Yo.